Did you hear the news? The great healer is returning to Capernaum. The excited crowd watched for his return, hoping to catch sight of him, to hear him speak, or to witness a miracle. The news of Jesus healing the sick and casting out demons, and the way he taught with such confidence and authority, was spreading like wildfire, and everyone was buzzing with excitement. When Jesus arrived at the home, he was greeted by even more people eager to see him. There were many hoping to see miracles, some seeking truth, and even a small group of Pharisees and teachers sent to check him out. There was no room to sit or stand. Doorways and windows were packed, and the crowd outside grew bigger by the minute. Just outside the house, largely unnoticed by the excited crowd, lay a paralyzed man. He was brought here to see Jesus, but because of the great number of people, and because he was unable to move himself, he could not get any closer. But 4 men who mercifully attended to the helpless man refused to give up. They rushed about, searching for a way to move through the packed house and into the presence of the miracle worker. They finally came up with a plan so desperate that it demanded extraordinary action. The men climbed up to the top of the house, carrying the crippled man on his stretcher. They then began to diligently chip away at the roof directly above where Jesus was teaching, until they made an opening large enough for him to fit through. The crowd looked on in amazement as the men slowly lowered the paralytic into the room and right in front of Jesus. When Jesus saw the faith of the paralytic and his persistent companions, he spoke to the man lovingly as a father to his child. "Son," he said, "be of good cheer. Your sins are forgiven." His words were unexpected. Why would Jesus offer forgiveness to a man who was clearly in need of healing? But Jesus could see what no one else could see. The man had a much deeper need than what was obvious to the crowd. The religious leaders were more outraged than puzzled. They quietly accused Jesus as they argued with themselves. What is he saying? Surely he knows he speaks blasphemy, for only God can forgive sins. Jesus could see into the minds and hearts of the religious leaders in the room, who were now shifting uneasily, threatened by the authority and attention his words commanded. Jesus spoke directly to them. "Why do you question these things? What would be easier for me to say? Your sins are forgiven you, or to say, get up, take your mat, and walk? I do this so that you will know that I have the authority on earth to forgive sins." Then he turned to the paralytic. "Rise, pick up your bed, and go home." Immediately the man stood up, picked up his bed, and went home, glorifying God all the way. The people were completely amazed. Jesus had just powerfully demonstrated that he did, in fact, have the power and authority that only God himself allowed, to see into the thoughts and hearts of man, to forgive even the greatest of sins, and to heal the body as well as the soul.